So, I'm not sure if I'm even going to post this or not, but I don't really talk about the fact that I have two special needs children um, who have significant trauma and a lot of grief, from their father passing a few years ago. And they're at the ages now where they're needing their father, and it's been hard. Um, their mental health is declining, and I feel like part of it is because of how I'm feeling, which I know, you know, that my energy is what feeds them and vice versa. But I know that I have to constantly be in that place of maintaining that happiness, that funny smile, or I'm gonna cry. And that's how I cope. That's my coping, is I laugh and make it, like, I use comedy and humor to deal with it. But there's just times where it's just so hard that we don't talk about it. Like, I have no help. I'm not complaining about it. I'm doing something about it. But I also feel like I suffer in silence, and I don't feel like we should be suffering in silence when we're dealing with such significant things every day. I mean, our mental health is such a it's incredible. I mean, it's mind blowing. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, is because of my children. I'm actually just finishing up my second year of my postgraduate program in addiction and mental health worker, and then I will be done this within the year, and then I will be able to be a certified addiction and mental health counselor, because I want to be able to help my kids, give my kids the best opportunities they can. And the only way you can do that is from being on the inside. And the other way you can do that is if you have money. And then also it's like, there's a whole octopus of ways that people could get their child treatment. And I just figured a different way. Hopefully it pays off. But I am tired. I'm emotionally exhausted. I don't even remember things that I should. Like simple things I can't even remember. Like, just to remember what a word is, I can't even write a sentence. I'm supposed to be writing a case study right now for my school, and I can't even write a sentence. Right? Like, I'm always living in that constant state of stress because there's always a problem at their schools. And I feel horrible for them. I'm not upset about me. I'm upset for them because I wouldn't know how I could handle being them. It's not easy. We don't talk about it, and it's sad that we don't. And I feel like maybe if we talked about it and were vulnerable, we could learn more about it and maybe reduce that loneliness that we all have, I'm sure, because I can't have people around because of what will happen. My child, if he has an episode, like, people are in shock when they see it, and then they judge, and then my child feels bad, but he shouldn't. The adult should feel bad for judging a child. But yet, it's the way that it is. So, you can't really date. You can't really have friends over, and family can barely manage to even be around them at times. And that is so sad. And all that they want is to be normal and to be loved and have family like everybody else. But it's very isolating, especially if you have more than, like, even one. When you have more than one, it's a different level, because one of them is okay while the other one isn't, and the other one is not okay, and the other one is, like, it's a different issue they have. So combined together, the cornucopia of things that I have to manage to deal with on a daily basis, it would blow people's minds. And like, I gotta laugh about it because it's really serious, man. Like, I want to allow people, but my son would have to agree to it, and I feel like he would, because he's the same as me. He wants to help other people. He's autistic. He has ADHD. He has depression. He has, he's got a few diagnoses, and he's currently dealing with a mental health crisis. And so, it's really hard. But what do you do for them? Like, really, what do you do? Like, I'm sorry, son. I don't know how to help you, or just give up. No, I'm not like that. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to say these things to him. What I'm going to do is I'm going to educate my son as much as possible, educate everybody around me, and, hopefully something helps. But yeah, I mean, I just feel very torn, because I feel like it's just not fair. There's a whole background of information that I am debating on whether or not to also discuss. But I think it's a critical piece of this entire this entire thing that's happening, and it's going to continue to happen, So, like, unpacking all of that won't be easy. And I feel like until I do, I'm not going to heal, because I have significant trauma from these things that have happened. Sometimes I can't even believe it my own self, but I really did. Because, sometimes you're like, oh my God, there's no way that happened, right? Like, that's just, I can't believe that you allowed something like that to happen to you. And because you're like, oh, it will never happen to me, right? Like, I was in a very, very abusive relationship with their father, who also had serious mental health disorders. So it's not something I'm not used to. But I don't want to be used to it from my kids, because that's a different kind. How do you walk away from your children who resemble and are doing identically the same thing their father did to you? Literally times 2. You can't, because then it just makes them worse. But then, what do you do for yourself? If you ask for help, people judge you, or they try to screw with you like CAS. And that's one of the things I am going to be discussing, because they are the source of this. When I actually have had to tell my story a few times, I mean, I literally could not believe it. Like, I really could not believe what I've gone through. I mean, like, I feel like I've lived 20 different people's lives, and not in a bad way, and not in an unhealthy way, but in a way that I've grown so much from each experience, and everything that I've learned. I'm seeing things so differently. Like, why am I'm not ashamed of anything. I'm not ashamed of one thing. I feel like I've turned this age, and I've never felt better in my life, which is kind of bizarre. And I'm at a point in my life where I'm I am not proving myself to you, okay? I don't need to prove me to you. I can promise you that. You need to prove you to me. That's what you have to do. Because I have the credentials to back up what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to break it down for you. Like, legit. I don't play, especially when it comes to my children. Especially when it comes to defamation of character. Especially when it comes to government agencies, breaking the law multiple times in a like, it's just, it's mind fucking, man. Like, it's so, like, it truly is insane. And I'm not like the person that just makes up stories to like have people feel bad for them. I actually like, it will tone it down because I don't want you to feel bad. But at the same time, I'm very honest. I'm open. I don't get offended by anything anymore. Man, it's like, if you think I'm easily offended, then I shouldn't even be here right now, right? Like, I've gone through an incredible transformation and multifaceted, I'm still trying to get my bearings back after this compassion fatigue or burnout from the serious problems I'm having with my child, both of them actually. So I feel like the more that I talk about it, even if it's to nobody, it'll make me feel better. You know, I'm trying to figure out, how can I make a change? How can I, Melody D'Andrea, how can I make a change so that nobody has to feel what we have had to feel with the loss of their father, regardless of him being who he was? That doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. It doesn't mean that that they don't deserve their father. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't pain them so much that it's heartbreaking. It hurts my soul every time I look at them. Because they're just like him. Like they, like, so much like him. And my younger son today said to me, Mommy, it's not fair. I never got to say goodbye. I don't even know where he's buried. I said, I know, baby, I'm sorry. Because his family is so crazy. Literally, like, legitimately, like, and I know that's not the right, I don't care. This is legitimate, psychopathic, crazy, like, he wasn't even, it's like, I don't even want to get into that, but they held us from being able to have closure from their grandfather, which was their dad's dad, a few months before he passed away. So a few months before he passes away, his dad passes away. We don't even get to be going to that funeral. We don't get to say goodbye. I didn't even know until I talked to their dad. And I feel like I was one of the last people to talk to him, other than, the dealers or the people he was getting to get him his drugs. I don't know. But it's just, I don't even know right now. Like, I can't. I have so much going through my head that I want to talk about. I've been trying to do a podcast, not sure what topics to do it about, not sure how to go, not sure how to do any part of it, because I'm not that kind of person. But what I am is very open and honest, very genuine, don't sugarcoat anything, highly intelligent, very educated, very confident in my abilities most of the time when I'm not having my mental health breakdown because of my poor child. And I keep it real. Like, what you see is what you get. Like, I literally am like, the way that I am right now is the way that I am whenever. Generally, like, I'm all excited and happy, dancing around, singing. That is how I am all the time. Like, I try my best to put on a positive, even though sometimes I'm having a hard time being positive. I really do make sure that I don't allow that negativity to creep in to a point where it's going to cause me catastrophic problems. Like, it's going to be catastrophic. I don't want to be down that road. So I do my very, very best. And it's like, there's so many things that I want to talk about in a different perspective. Like, I want to talk about stuff as a 45-year-old woman coming into her own and owning that power, right? Like, I want to talk about these things and, sex and relationships, but like in a way that is shocking, but it's real. It's not an act. I don't pretend to be something I am not. I am not fake. I am not that person. I don't have the time to even lie. Like, I don't have the time to be fake. I don't have the time to lie. And I also am brutally honest, because I don't want you to feel in any way that it's about you, right? Like, I know everybody says that, but I genuinely, it's about how I'm feeling. It's not about other people anymore, because that was my life. It was always about everybody else, how everybody else was feeling. And it's not anymore. It's about, how am I feeling? How is this impacting me? Right? Like, sure, it might be, how are you impacting me? But it's not about you per se. It's about me, how it's impacting me, right? Because it's not impacting you. It's impacting me. So how am I going to navigate this situation in the most healthiest manner possible, right? And that's not easy. And people generally don't know when, we know when to walk away, okay? We know when to walk away. But what we don't do is walk away. We don't. I mean, if you're old school like I am, I will not walk away from anything. I will try and try, and I will try, and I will try. I don't ever give up. But not everybody is like that. And I'm not sure if part of that was because of abuse, but I also was like that with my first marriage, or my only marriage, and he wasn't like abusive or anything like that. He was just a cheater. Yeah, that was good times. But other than that, it was a pretty typical. I mean, I guess men cheating on their wives while they're pregnant with all that shit is normal. I mean, not normal, but it's not like it's whatever. Anyways, you get what I'm saying. And it's like, I got no time for none of that, okay? So I want to talk about these things, but I also want to talk about serious things, such as mental health, the genetics about it, the psychology, and, addiction. I want to talk about it all. I want to talk about schizophrenia. I want to talk about all of it. Autism, like everything. I want to discuss it all. But how do I do that under one umbrella, one podcast, right? Because I'm not that kind of person that like filters. If I start saying something, I'm going with it. And I'm not going to cut it out. I don't edit any of my videos ever. I mess up, I keep going because I don't do any double takes. I don't do this and that. I don't do it because then you're not really seeing me, the authentic me. This is me right now. I have no energy, right? And is it looking a good angle? No, none of it. It doesn't matter because right now, what matters is that if one person feels the same way as I do, maybe for me, it'll give me that sense of like, okay, it's not just me. But I don't think people understand is when you are a single parent, no support of special needs children, it is very difficult. I'm not discounting other people. It's not about you. Remember, I don't talk about other people. It's about me. And how my family, right? Like I don't judge. I don't compare. I'm just telling you how hard it really is. And it's like we're ashamed of it. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. Because society makes us feel ashamed. We get persecuted for reaching out for help. You know, like, it's so disturbing. Because if a man does it, right, which they won't go, but like if they do, if a man, then nobody says anything, nobody bats an eye. They're not calling CAS, right? Like they won't do that. But when a woman does, it's a different story. The cops are getting called. CAS is getting called. All because you want to have help. You're trying to get out of a bad situation. You're trying to get clean. You're trying to make a better future. And you're asking them for help. Because that's what they're supposed to be doing, is helping families stay together. Yeah, I don't know about that. So like, this is why we don't say anything. This is why we keep it in. This is why. And it's not right. It's not fair. Why is it that we should feel so embarrassed and ashamed? Maybe you don't. I'm not anymore. Like, I don't care my neighbors anymore. Like, my child will scream out the window on a daily basis. Out the window. And it's quiet in my neighborhood. We're on the 3rd floor. In the house, or the 2nd floor, and his voice travels. Okay, let me tell you, I know because I've heard it. And he's screaming out the window, "I am fucking mental. I'm crazy." And he's screaming it, and it's not for like a minute. This is going on for like an hour. This happens every day, and I feel bad for my child because I don't know what to do. I know what to do, but it's a matter of allowing that to be done. And I'm also being very cognizant about how to go about helping him, because it's not a typical, it's just a different way that he is very different. And I've been even told that on how he works with being helped in certain things. So whatever, fine. But I don't want to feel like this alone. Like, why is it that we're not supposed to talk about this? Why can't we talk about how, like, again, I'm not even sure. Like, again, see, and this is where I don't have a filter. I understand what a filter is. I comprehend that. I have one. But at some point in this woman's brain, it goes clicked off, because it's like, fuck that. Because you were not even allowed to even look up for like 15 years from the ground. You couldn't have an opinion. You couldn't even fucking shower without permission, right? Like, I couldn't go to the bathroom. I could not leave his side. So after you've gone through that for so long, and the only reason why it stopped was because he did pass away from a drug overdose.
Like, if he never died, I would not be here today. I would probably be dead, because it was bad. Always, it was bad. He was very scary man. Tried to kill me many, many, many times. Yeah, very scary shit, man. Fucking, I don't even know how I am okay. I don't even know. Maybe I'm not okay, but I don't know if it's, I mean, I know what it is. Like, I can't say that I don't know. That's not true. I don't even think it's because I don't want to talk about it. So instead of saying I don't know why, I do know why. I just don't want to talk about that. It's just too much to unpack in what a video is. I don't even know what I'm videoing this for, if I'm even gonna post it, or, first podcast. I don't know. But what I do know is that I'm not the only person, regardless if you're a mother or a father, right? I don't care. You are suffering with any sort of addiction or mental health problem, or you have it in your family, or you have a close friend, anywhere, in any capacity, if it's touching your life, I want you to connect with me. Oh, that's not exactly what I was trying to say, but I want to hear from you. I want you to tell me your story. I want to create a community where we feel safe to share, and know that if one of us is in need of help, we're all there for them, right? Like, that is so important. Community is so important, because even my children don't have friends that they really play with, right? And that's also another challenge. It's not easy to get a it's that a neurotypical parent, because I've also been one of those too, is a very different one compared to a neurodiverse parent, because obviously you can understand why. And if you don't understand why, well, that'll be another day. But I've done both, right? Because I have 5 children, 5 boys. And, it's quite it's anyways. So I'm getting off track here. So what I think I'm going to do is this. I'm going to figure out how to get this video up and up. I don't even want to edit it or cut it, anything, because I want it genuine. I want it to be just the way that it would be if I was just talking to myself, which I do quite often. And so I figure if I'm having these conversations alone, I might as well put my camera on and share my thoughts with other people. And I really don't care, right? Like, if I cared what people thought, I would not be looking like this. I wouldn't be doing any of it. And I wouldn't put myself out there like that. So with that being said, I'm not sure if I'm wanting to call this Wait for It, It's Boss Bitch Time, or Wait for It, because I like that name. I don't know. All I know is I need to have a name for this show, because this is exactly what it is. This is going to be the podcast. I am going to have so much fun with it. There's going to be themes. I've got a whole plan already of episodes. One episode I'm already working on is the fuck me concept. Oh boy, that's a good one. There's the which one? There's the wall of ultimate shame. You can try to think about what you think that's going to be about. And then there's the wall of shame, right? Like, there's the wall of shame, and then there's the wall of ultimate shame. So those are funny episodes. Another one is, I can't even believe it. Actually, I can't even remember right now, but I have it all written out. Oh, the Rom Con. It's happened to me. I've been romantically conned. Can you fucking believe it? Apparently I have. And I want to expose him. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you again if I even ever post this.